Today's video is an update to my Hubsan H502S quadcopter that was sent in for review by Banggood.com. Banggood have sent me a range extending kit, so I'm going to show you how to install it and how much further the range is improved. In the kit you are given a 5.8 GHz patch antenna, a dipole antenna for the 2.4 GHz control, and two SMA connectors to clip direct to the video receiver and 2.4 GHz transmitter chip. It costs just £11.50, so it's not going to break the bank. The kit is quoted as being for the H501S, the H107D and the H107D Plus. The description advises that if you want to use it with the 501S, then no soldering is required, and I can confirm that this is the same when using the kit with the 502S. However, the H107D and H107D Plus will be more messy as their connectors are soldered direct to the board. You would need to strip back these SMA coaxial wires and solder the outer ground and middle signal wire direct to the board. With the 502S, you first need to undo the 4 screws on the back of the transmitter and keep them safe. Next, we need to unplug the current 5.8 and 2.4 antennas. On the 502S transmitter, they just unclip. Both 5.8 GHz and 2.4 GHz antennas are hot glued in. You can peck at them with your fingers or use a knife to dislodge them. If you have some rubbing alcohol, this will also remove them. Once you are done with that, you are going to have to do some drilling and cutting. I used a 8mm drill bit and drilled into the top of the transmitter case. I then used wire cutters to cut out the plastic, which is there to house extra switches. If you don't cut these off, then the SMA connectors will not seat properly. Take the nut and spring washer off the SMA connector, leaving the one washer behind to ensure that its claws are facing outwards. The SMA connector should fit pretty flat on the inside of the transmitter. However, on the outside of the transmitter, the SMA connector sits at a slight angle due to the shape of the transmitter. You can then take the spring washer and put that over the top of that, and then finally the nut. You can hand tighten it for now. Then plug in the first SMA connector into the 5.8 GHz receiver. It takes a fair amount of push for it to click in place. Then repeat the process for the 2.4 GHz antenna. Once that's in place, you can use a socket wrench to tighten the nuts up. Make sure that they are pretty tight, otherwise they will come undone when adding or removing your antennas. The spring washer will keep everything flat and in place. The last thing to do is to put all your screws back into the transmitter and you are ready to fly. To store the transmitter away, you will need to remove the antennas. Just make sure that you put the right antenna on the correct connector. The left connector is the video antenna and the right connector is the 2.4 GHz antenna. Also be careful not to turn the transmitter on without having the dipole connected. This can overpower the transmitter and blow it up. The video antenna is not so much of a problem as it's just receiving video. However, you won't get a very good picture if you leave it off. Both the patch antenna and dipole antenna are directional, but more so the patch antenna. It will have a working angle of about 55 degrees, also known as the Fresnel zone. If you intend to fly it far away, then you need to ensure that the antenna is pointed in the general direction of the quad at all times in order to get a picture. With a dipole antenna, its signal comes out of the sides all around, so if you are high up and far away, you will want to angle it to one side. You can create a homemade dish antenna using card and foil if you want to get more out of it. Personally, I'd rather attach a Wi-Fi booster to it. I did this in my V686 mods video if you are interested in that. Let's go and take it for a fly to see how the range mod has worked. When I initially reviewed the H502S, I got about 100 meters before the control dropped out. The full length of this field is just under 1 kilometer, so I can't really go very far in this field, but I can go up, so let's give that a try. I'm pointing my antenna upwards and the control antenna outwards, so let's arm it and see how I get on. I've got the video recording on board. And now I've turned GPS hold on. And we have a really nice hover. So let's go up. See there, we're at 34 meters. Picture is still great. Just gonna let go there a minute, see how we get on. Picture is completely perfect there. So I've got a height of 87 meters there. Just gonna spin it around. Have full control still. And there is no breakup on that picture at all. No problem with the control. Let's try a bit further. It's getting blown around a lot up there, but it is such a tiny aircraft. The picture is absolutely crystal clear. Let's get it to 120. And that is 400 feet. Still perfect control. The horizon isn't level. And that is because the GPS is compensating. That is pretty impressive. And there we go. Let's see how far I can get across this field without any picture breakup. Gonna get a little bit more height on. And let's try pointing the antenna at it slightly. The battery's gone down to 7.1 volts. We should be good for another couple of points of a volt, so let's see how far I can get. That was really impressive on the height. So it's traveling at 2.6 meters per second. Still got control. lost video there, but it came back. Still got control. It's going to move out of the way of the trees a little bit. Just point the antenna. Let's try and get a little bit more height on. The control did seem to have a little bit of a blip there, and the video's having a blip as I'm turning it around. Let's try take it out a little bit further. I think the wind is just really knocking it there. No, it's still got control. Let's keep going. Yeah, it does not like the wind at all. Really struggling to keep it straight there. Okay, it's actually doesn't seem to be going any further than that. I don't have any control now. Oh, there we go, it came back. I wonder if it's got a limit on it. Like 100 meters. Didn't seem to go any further there. Let's bring it back. Yeah, it didn't want to go any further than 100 meters. I wonder if I can put another battery in it. So none of these batteries seem to be fully charged, but let's just quickly see if I can break that 100 meter barrier, because it can definitely handle it when it comes to the video reception. So let's take off. I'm going to get some height on. Let's climb to, say, I don't know, 20, 30 meters. And let's try to go forward. So we're moving forward at nearly 3 meters per second. It's going to yaw away from the tree. Just going to adjust the antenna slightly. So what are we, 83 meters there. $100. Yeah, I don't have control there. There's no yaw. Oh, there is, it's just really delayed. Okay, I've got control there. So at 117 meters, 116 meters, the video is crystal clear. It says it's going at 1 meter, 0 meters per second. It looks like it's returning home. So either it's running out of range, or it's got a 100 meter limit on it, so it won't let me go any further. Yeah, look at that. It doesn't say that it's returning home, but it just points towards home. Look at that. But it's turning around on its own. Look, 100 meters, try and push it forward. It's going forward, 116 meters, 117, and just stops and turns around. That is really odd. I wonder if it does the same then on the height, because I got it to 120 meters. I wonder if we can try and make it go higher than that. So yeah, It's got a 100-meter barrier on this one. So I'm just going to position it above us, flip the antennas round so we get the correct orientation, and let's try and go up. Very wobbly. Just come off the throttle a bit there. It's so windy. Okay, let's keep trying. Does not like that. Still going up though. The video is crystal clear, but look at it wobble around in the wind. 66, 68, 69. 72, 75. I think it's struggling because of the battery voltage, maybe. No, it's still going up. 96, 97. Oh, it does not like that wind. 99, 100, 101, 102. Look at that getting blown around. $17, $18, $19, $20, $21. So it does not seem to have a limit on the height. That is interesting. Let's have a look around. Very pretty. That video is brilliant. 132 meters high, no problem. Okay, time to land. See how quick it comes down. It's going to come down very quickly if the battery runs out. So yeah, it's an interesting one. That this quadcopter seems to have a limit on how far it can go diagonally, but not how far it can go height-wise. So that is very strange, but the range mod works, which is pretty awesome. I'll put a link in the description if you wish to get one for one of your other Hubsan quadcopters or this one. Let's come in for a landing. So there you go, that is my review of this range extender mod. It does work, however, if you are using it with the Hubsan H502S, then you are limited to 100 meters or so distance-wise. Funnily enough, you are not restricted height-wise. It did go above 120 meters, which is a strange one. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.